welcome. You are watching Alvas News Time. This is the Campus Chronicle with you. I'm Ashwini Jain. Let's take a look at the headlines. March towards nature now has 20 colleges that hopped aboard. Media Bus creates the biggest buzz of the season at Alvas. Grassroots are where we start. The nation is what we aim. Arunya Foundation is now the most impactful agriculture startup in Mangalore. Royal Challengers Bengaluru undergo an evolution. After 10 seasons, Bangaloreans are ever more hopeful to lift the IPL Cup this year. 24 years since the silver screens, yet the Shawshank Redemption is till date the best movie ever made. The Department of PG Studies in Journalism and Mass Communication of Alvas Education Foundation inaugurated its Alumni Association on the 17th of February. Abhinandan Shetty, the AO of Alvas, inaugurated the association in the presence of Department HOD Dr. Maulya Jeevanram. Rakshita Kumari was nominated as the President of the Alumni Association, Shri Gauri Joshi the Vice President, Sudama Peraje the Treasurer, and Yajas Duddayanda was nominated as the Coordinator of the association. Ex-students of the department and faculty were present at the occasion. Alvas Multimedia Studio has added a feather to its cap with the first national level award for Nandini, a documentary produced by students in association with Rally for Rivers. The documentary has bagged the Best Documentary Award in Shooting Stars, a national level short film and documentary fest organized by the Department of Journalism of St. Aloysius College, Mangalore. Keraliyam, a king-size festival of Alvas organized for the students within the institution hailing from God's own country, took place at the Ratnakara Varni Vedike recently. A cultural extravaganza bringing alive the traditions of Kerala, including food and attire, turned out to be the massive attractions of the event. Keraliyam was inaugurated by Anil Libby, the Director of Cancer Research Centre, SCMS, Kochi. Dr. Mohan Alva, the Chairman of AEF, and ex-Minister Amarnath Shetty were present at the occasion, along with principals from all colleges within AEF. The HR Club of Alvas organized a guest talk by the young entrepreneur, founder and CEO of NV Green Biotech India Private Limited, Mr. Ashwath Hegde. The students of MHRD interacted with the resource person regarding his business and human resourcing strategies in the presence of Managing Trustee Vivek Alva, College Principal Dr. Kurian and department faculty. Ashwath Hegde is the innovator of biodegradable plastic or easy and cheap decomposable bags that are making a revolution in the environment conservation sphere.
Remember one thing, investment, yes, it is necessary, but it is not that, like if you have no money also, you can start business. With 10,000 bucks, you can start exporting business. I started it, I'm an example. With just 15,000 rupees borrowed money, I started an exporting company, exporting business, and we have reached in that by the end of 2011.
Para-Olympics 2020 has begun unfolding its red carpet already as the selection process for the international phenomenon took place at the Swaraj Maidan on the 10th of February, hosted by Alvas Education Foundation. Contestants from Bangalore, Mysore, Mangalore, Koppala and Dharwad took place in the selection. Ex-Minister Abhay Chandra Jain and Captain Ganesh Karnik presided over the event in the presence of Chairman of Alvas Education Foundation, Dr. Mohan Alva. The Department of MHRD organized a one-day training and development program for the students of Human Resource Development. Sanmat Shetty from SKNC Sinha School of Business Management delivered a discourse on the importance of field study in human resource development. The students also interacted with the resource person regarding the attributes of behavior training for work efficiency in the presence of Department HOD Shazia Syed. Alvas Multimedia Studio has been making noise on state-level entertainment sphere. The newly released album Mauna Mauna, a cover version of a popular Hindi song, has not only crossed the 13,000 viewership mark on YouTube, but has also been making noise on state-level media. The track has been sung by Manjunath Naik and written by Dhruvaraj Jain from BA Journalism, enacted by Shubhashri Jain and Ankit Bekal from PG Journalism, and cinematographed by Narendra and Krishna Prashant, the multimedia in charge of Alvas. The Department of PG Studies in Mathematics of Alvas organized a one-day inter-collegiate fest for students of mathematics. The event was inaugurated by Dr. B.R. Shankar from NITK Surathkal, who explained to the students the importance of research in education. He also compelled them to make the right use of facilities provided by the institution and the government. The principal of the college, Dr. Kurian, HOD of Journalism Dr. Maulya Jeevanram and the HOD of Maths Department Deepak K.N. were present at the occasion.
So wherever there are events connected with mathematics, with education, is always with some hope and some kind of expectation and satisfaction, all kinds of mixed feelings we come. So that, okay, mathematics is still alive, there are people interested in propagating this.
The Department of PG Studies in Journalism has a handful of feathers to its cap, 3 to be precise. 3 students from the 2016-17 batch have obtained university ranks, accounting to a total of 5 ranks for the Department of Journalism. Sri Gauri Joshi bagging the first rank, Rachna Amin standing second, and Meghana Bangera obtaining the third position have collectively rewarded the department with the title of Academic Excellence. Types of Zoologic. A unique video presentation contest was organized by the Department of MSc Zoology of Alvas, where 11 intercollegiate contestants took part. Dr. Rashmi K., HOD of Department of Applied Zoology, and Associate Professor Shruti S. occupied the judgmental panel for the contest that was witnessed by the students and enthusiasts of zoology. Alvas News Time will be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. If there's a festival that brings together the entire country without divide, it has to be cricket. And as the biggest celebration of the year comes on, IPL fans have already put on their team hats and booked pavilion tickets. Raising all hopes this year is the Royal Challengers Bengaluru team, which has undergone an evolution like never before. Here is the complete analysis of our home team for the year. IPL season approaches in full swing, and India cannot wait to be a part of this celebration called the Indian Premier League. Every state hopes their team picks up the trophy this year, but it cannot be denied that there is one team that is the most anxious of all. The Royal Challengers of Bengaluru has always been the most challenging of teams in IPL, but unfortunately never got to kiss the cup. And now, for the 11th IPL season, RCB has come up with a completely transformed team with renewed hopes for the new season. After the bidding, the team has retained the team captain Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers and Sarfaraz Khan. With that, Virat Kohli is now the only player who has played for the same team since season 1. The current team status infers that RCB has both world number 1 batsman Virat Kohli and the world's second best batsman AB de Villiers, raising all hopes for RCB this year.
54 Virat Kohli. Oh dear, this is going into the stands. This time he plants him into mid-wicket. It is the most glorious century here.
Chris Gayle had been the strongest pillar of the team since 5 seasons. After a storming performance in the team, he has been let go to the disappointment of many. However, replacing the giant in batting and fielding is Brendan McCullum from New Zealand. This new opening batsman for RCB has an experience in captaincy as well as holds a record for having scored 150 runs in the very first IPL match in Season 1. Another great catch by RCB this season is the seasoned wicketkeeper from the South African team, Quinton de Kock. Also a great batsman, de Kock is expected to be the wicketkeeper if not for Parthiv Patel. If not, he will be a great asset for the RCB batsman squad. Other batsmen expected to outshine are Virat Kohli and ABD obviously, Sarfaraz Khan, Mandeep Singh and Pawan Deshpande from the Ranji Trophy fame. This means that RCB shall not face an opening pressure considering that the middle order is in commendable form as well. Coming to bowling, RCB has made wondrous catches. The shameful loss at the previous season where the team lost all its wickets within 50 runs has now been turned around. The team that caused the loss, Kolkata Knight Riders, has now given up its best bowlers, Umesh Yadav and Nathan Coulter-Nile, to RCB. These two lay a firm foundation for the bowling side, strengthened further by Yuzvendra Chahal, the Indian bowler who has been putting up extraordinary performances on Indian as well as international pitches. Chahal is the only player that RCB bidders picked on the right to match privilege. The feather to the cap is a Desi bowler turned international talent, a son of a modest auto driver from Hyderabad, Mohammad Siraj, who is also expected to outshine in speed bowling. Another speed bowler, Tim Southee from New Zealand, will be a strong backup as well. The new RCB Grand team also has an equally grand all-rounder plethora. England's best spinner and batsman, Moeen Ali, also England's best speed bowler and batsman, Chris Woakes, are RCB's best challengers for the season. Woakes in specific shall prove to be a great catch given his international reputation for being the best of all-rounders. Not lagging behind whatsoever, Indian native players too are amongst the key players of RCB. Two of India's commended all-rounders, Washington Sundar and Pawan Negi, were the most sought-after spinners and big hitters at the bidding. All these years, RCB has entertained the masses like no other. But this season, they will entertain and bring home the trophy.
Go, 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 Royal Challengers! You play bold, Royal Challengers! Just play bold, Royal Challengers! You play bold!
Alvas Media Bus 2018, under the theme March Towards Nature, created the biggest buzz of the season at Alvas. With over 20 colleges being a part of the fest organized by the Department of Journalism, the event was a day filled with content deliverance and fun. Take a look at how Media Bus turned out to be the most celebrated events of the year. Age-old and ambitions unearthed, within ancient strongholds and learning modern. With roots in tradition and approaches afresh, we march towards nature and call you to hop aboard. Alvas Media Bus was one of the most awaited events of Alvas Education Foundation, and the Department of Journalism proudly brought forward the third Media Bus under the theme March Towards Nature. With an objective to bring together the best of journalism talents around the state, and also a concern to impart the virtue of nature care, Media Bus arrived on the 16th of February 2018, more ambitious than ever. 20-odd colleges were a part of the events of the day. Editor of Hasiruvasi magazine, Radhakrishna Bharti, inaugurated the event by watering the plant and addressed the gathering regarding the attributes of environment journalism.
Civilization start agide. Fine, journalism allo ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ ರೀ. ಎಕೋ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಶುರುವಾಗಿದೆ. ಬೀಟ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಮೊದಲಿಂದಲೂ. ಮುದ್ರಣ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸಿದರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲೂ ಇತ್ತು, ಆದರೆ ಮುದ್ರಣ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪ್ರಚಲಿತದಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು.
As the chief guest of the day, news presenter from TV9, Amar Prasad, charmed the gathering with excerpts from his experience.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ರಿನ್ಯೂವಬಲ್ಸ್ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಹಾಗೆ ನ್ಯೂ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಮರ ನೆಟ್ಟರು ಕೂಡ ಕಡಿತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ, ಕಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮರಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಯಾಯ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು.
A number of publications from Alvas Madhyama were released at the occasion. More so, a documentary on Mijaruguttu Ananda Alva and an album track Mauna Mauna produced by Alvas Multimedia Studio were launched by ex-minister Amarnath Shetty, managing trustees Vivek Alva and Vinay Alva, Jai Shri Amarnath Shetty, Jeevan Ram Sulya and the head of the journalism department Dr. Maulya Jeevan Ram and the principal of the college Dr. Kurian. Different competitions that brought out the best of the budding journalists from around the state were hosted at Media Bus. The day was jam-packed with intense events, with contestants striving to be in their best forms and volunteers doing all they could to make the visitors feel at home. After the phenomenon, the valedictory was as intense as the entire day, with Sitarama Acharya and Dinesh Holla, two of Karnataka's most prominent environmentalists, delivering experience-based discourses. Also, FMKMC Institute from Madikeri took home the championship trophy from Media Bus 2018, while Nitte Institute of Communication bagged the runners-up trophy. In all, Media Bus 2018 was an event that saw success as though it was entitled to it. The Department of Journalism of Alvas has proved it yet again that it pioneers the attributes of organization, management and execution. Media Bus has raised the bars for theme-based college events, and naturally, the wait for it to return next year has already begun. Alvas News Time will be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We all agree that the agriculture sector in India deserves more regard than we currently give it. Although, there's hardly a few of us that comes up with means to fill this void. But here is a group of young enthusiasts who have emerged with highly effective startup named Arunya Foundation that has been making top-notch impacts within a short span of its initiation. Have a look. Sustenance of the future generations depends entirely on the development of the agricultural sector in India. Bringing the youth back towards the grassroots level of progress has turned out to be a challenge, considering the attractions that the modernized world holds. However, here is a startup in Mangalore that is not only by itself promoting agricultural development, but is also bringing together the youth of the area for the cause.
Arunya Foundation is started with the motto of nurturing hopes of rural India people. So this is a concept evolved 2 years before without any formal structure, and we have communicated throughout the rural entities, especially the school children, with various ways like organizing various programs, projects to them. But then we thought that we should have a proper platform to communicate, so that we'll have one identity to say who is doing this. With this motto, 4 people from our side, including me, Mr. Vikram K, Shankar Bharadwaj, Brijesh Gokhale and myself, we have formed this Arunya Foundation to connect the various stakeholders of agriculture. Arunya Foundation is aimed to document the knowledge, do the research and make various policy making changes. With this regard, our first attempt is that Krishi Madhyama. We have a web portal called inlandpost.com, where with the help of various journalism students of various colleges of this area, we are trying to document the knowledge asset, video documentation of the knowledge asset of the senior most farmers who are known to be a scientist without degree. So if we document all those knowledge, it will more useful in the policy making changes, so that will create a brighter future in the agri farming.
Foundation has been hosting effective programs such as Battada Tenni and Krishi Sangama, which have attracted young minds towards the field of agriculture. More so, an app named Farm Search, launched by the foundation, has made commercialization of the sector much easier. Other programs of the startup have brought together politicians, farmers, businessmen and young initiators together under a single umbrella. Foundation keeps itself open for the access of any individual interested to indulge in agriculture. They publish agriculture-related media, document impressive attributes from the sector, as well as encompass interested youth within the sphere. The startup has begun making impacts within a short span of establishment. In the most innovative of ways, Aranya Foundation is redefining the pathways towards progress. Ashwini Jain, Alvas News Time, Vidyagiri. Way back in 1994, a movie was released, but it made pretty much no noise. But 24 years later today, it stands unbeaten as the world #1 movie ever made. The Shawshank Redemption connects the soul of a viewer with its ever so intense plot, making, acting and most importantly dialogues. Here's why the movie has stayed on top of IMDb rankings for 24 years.
There have been movies that have ignited revolutions. There have been ones that tore apart the box office. There have been movies that touched lives and made differences. Towering over them all, there has been a phenomenon in the movie world named the Shawshank Redemption.
That's damn right.
Released in 1994, Shawshank Redemption made not much of a noise when it first hit the silver screens. Under the direction of Frank Darabont, the movie actually released with neither much expectation nor noise. It took over 5 years of time for the international audiences to comprehend the true intensity of the movie. Shawshank Redemption, starring Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman in lead roles, gives out more messages than one can decipher at one watch. The story of Andy Dufresne, a banker who gets caught in a crime of having murdered his wife and her lover, is thrust into one of the cells at Shawshank, the most malicious prison in America. There he meets a contraband smuggler named Ellis Redding, who conveys to him that every prisoner at Shawshank pretty much gives up on life, for there is no way to escape, nor a life outside the cells should they be relieved. However, Andy Dufresne contradicts all notions and escapes the toughest prison in America in a way no one could ever have imagined. Not only is the escape a message of hard-earned freedom, it is also about justice, zeal for life and righteousness of a common man. Andy Dufresne suffered the torture at Shawshank for a crime he did not commit, and his escape was more a lesson to the judiciary than it was a victory for himself.
Andy? I have no idea to this day what those two Italian ladies were singing about. Truth is, I don't want to know. Some things are best left unseen.
Shawshank Redemption has been the best rated movie on IMDb rankings for years now, and no movie has ever taken its place since it got to top. The story is actually based on a Stephen King novel named Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. What made the movie immensely popular, other than the natural approach in making, are the dialogues. The characters do not chatter throughout the movie. Every word, every sentence uttered conveys meaning on a number of dimensions. Remember, Red, hope is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. Get busy living or get busy dying. You know, the funny thing is, on the outside, I was an honest man, straight as an arrow. I had to come to prison to be a crook. Shawshank Redemption. For the intensity sustained throughout 2 hours, Shawshank Redemption has stayed at the #1 position for years. Created at a budget of $25 million, the movie had seen disappointment when it released in America in 1994. However, it slowly became a phenomenon as it turned out to be the highest rented movie of the year in 1995 and eventually the most nominated for the most reputed of film awards. The cinematography of Shawshank Redemption was critically acclaimed the most. In all, the movie that stands as world number 1 today was in fact a failure when it first stepped out. The Shawshank Redemption is evidence for the audience's preference of a realism-based movie that conveys a strong message. None of the commercial movies from around the world have been able to beat the Shawshank Redemption to take its place as the best movie ever made. Although there have been fights with The Godfather and Citizen Kane, the Shawshank Redemption has retained its place, for the movie is the definition of perfection in movie making. Ashwini, Jain, Alvas News Time, Vidyagiri.
And here we call it a wrap. Thank you for watching. See you next week.